Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Hello, everybody. That's right. We are here one day early. We will be here tomorrow at 5 p.m. with our guest, Brian Blevins, talking about our favorite 80s cartoons and our favorite Christmas cartoons. So join us tomorrow at 5 for that. Of course, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning is live. Link in the description below. Go check it out. Go back it. We'll talk about that later. Dennis has to copy me. I came on wearing, of course, a winning team's Santa hat. Ho, ho, ho. The boys. And Dennis is like, oh, I don't want to be left alone. Let me go get my loser Packer hat.
So none of that actually happened. This is what we call fake news. Although I did go grab my hat. But there's no winning and losing because, you know, Andy, like I said, first time you got something to be proud of in like 30 years, and suddenly it's like every year. He's so smug about it. I was actually going to root for the Cowboys in the playoffs. Now I'm like, go Eagles. Let's see Eagles. Let's see Giants. Let's see somebody from your division win it now because my Packers won't. But all I can say is, Packers beat the Bears twice this season and the Cowboys, so that's our own Super Bowl.
All I know is kudos to you for wearing that Packers fur hat because I don't know if I could put something on my head that smelled like pooey. Anyhow.
Well, you literally are, so I'm confused
by
that. I know you sat there and rubbed a taxi tree air freshener all over it, but it doesn't help, Andy.
No. Sign up to my boy Rob Hunter's Death Raider. Kor-Drath, of course. Thank you, Randy. Blackjack is in the house. Case is in the house. And Rob Hunter is in the house. So what movie are we talking about? Well, we'll talk about it. But first, we'll actually play the trailer for you guys. And then we'll talk about it. So let's watch the trailer. Dennis, give me a thumbs up to make sure the sound is good once I hit play.
All right.
How did you know all that?
I didn't. I was just following you.
You were following me?
Yeah.
Oh, I messed up in the middle there.
Yeah, tap is new for me. It's a very expressive medium.
What is all of this?
I am your ghost of Christmas present.
Like a Christmas carol? What do you think I'm going to be all intrigued by what's behind the door?
Not even a little bit curious?
Damn it!
my first save? There was this little sick kid. What did they call him?
It was Tiny Tim.
No. Sweet kid, one crutch.
No.
Little Larry.
No, Tiny Tim.
Micro Mike. Super small Steve.
Oh.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to. There it goes. Let's just remove. All right, so I watched it with my wife, my wonderful, beautiful wife, and my daughter on Thursday, maybe. No. I'm sorry, Friday night, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. A fun Christmas movie for the holiday season with two great comedic actors, Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, obviously one of my favorites. My boy, Ryan Reynolds. And I told Dennis, I said, I got a new movie for you. I think you'll enjoy it. It is a musical. I don't like musicals except for a couple. I enjoyed this. It's not important. Says this is going to be odd, but it's not cancer. So excited. Wife told me. So happy. Just, that's awesome. That's very good news at this time of year. Good. Okay, we'll get there. The trailer doesn't do it justice. It is great. I and my wife and daughter thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't like musicals, but I thought with Ryan doing it and Will doing it and a couple others, I thought they did a great job. I thought it was a very nice twist on the old Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. There was a nice little twist in it, which we won't spoil. And it was fantastic. Whereas my partner in crime over there, Scrooge McScroogerson, the Grinch who has no heart, hates Christmas apparently.
No.
What say you?
I just like good movies. And I truth be told, this was originally portrayed as a comedy. And then I did see somebody posted it, and they changed it recently to a musical. I do not like musicals in general. There's a few. Greatest Showman I like. Grease I like. There's a few. But I'm not a huge musical lover, even though I took an entire semester of musicals in college, which is why I found out I hate musicals. But with
wait. You took a whole semester in college on musicals?
Radio TV film major here.
So when did you transition in college from being gay to straight? Because obviously you're married. Was it after that class?
You had to take in TV. see, those of us that went down that path, you had to take your art classes. You had to take in an RTF. One of them was musicals. Yep, I just gonna say this is when I found out I really didn't like musicals. Rodgers and Hammerstein, although they put out some great ones, again, not too many that I would sit there and rewatch. So I still wanted to see this because Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, two of my faves, I'd watch anything they put out at least once. So Andy suggested I watch it. Now my wife, on the other hand, loves musicals. Absolutely loves all musicals. The whole family does. So I thought this is going to be a no-brainer of a watch. So we watched it. Wow. You just saw all the best clips.
Oh, bullshit! Oh, get out of here! Talk about Oh my God! Talk about hyperbole. What are you? You're spinning as much BS as the press secretary does for Biden.
Not at
Good
all. The
God.
whole scene. The only thing that I laughed at was literally the spot when he's like going through the door. Don't you want to see what's in the room? And he peeks his head out. I laughed openly at that one. I think that was the only open laughter, and I chuckled a few times, which were also in the trailer. So, yes, if
you're wrong.
There for laughs, that's what you're there for.
You are so wrong. Don't listen to him. Rob says he agrees with Dennis. Rob, did you watch the whole movie? Actually, Rob, I'm sending you the link. You need to come in here and defend that. Because I don't even think you watched the whole movie. I think he's full of crap. So hold on. I'm going to send him the link. He can come in here and spout some nonsense. Let's see. And you are so full of crap. The funniest stuff was in it. That trailer was a minute.
It literally was.
No.
It literally was. If you're telling me you openly laughed out loud in other parts of the movie, it's obviously because you were on something.
No, I did. Oh, come on. The scene. Oh, I laughed out loud at the scene in the elevator. Yes, that was in the trailer. I understand that. But there were other scenes. Rob said, let's see, I should just wait. I just sent you the link. I tried to watch this piece of crap. I fast forward until I realized it was all effing singing and dancing. Hey, dude, I like The Greatest Showman. I'll stick around for Grease because my wife likes it. And those are about the only two musicals I like. And I do like The Greatest Showman a lot. I thought this movie was entertaining. I thought it was a fresh take on A Christmas Carol because they brought in and even referenced it and didn't make fun of it. I mean, Ryan Reynolds did kind of in a way. So they actually referenced the real Christmas Carol. I thought the ending, we're not going to give spoilers away. I thought the ending was very well done.
Zed, I agree with Zed. I will stick with Scrooged. It was a much, much better movie than this.
I won't disagree with that. I think Scrooged was a fantastic movie.
Now I am saying that this wasn't a complete shit show. So this wasn't like they went and took a turd in a corner and called it Andy. No. This was just a movie that was meh at its high point that you literally saw in the trailer. My wife, who loves almost every musical, she goes, "Can I turn on the lights and start knitting now? I'm bored." And she did.
Bored? There was no moment. There was no moment in the movie to get bored. It clicked by.
Welcome in, jumping in the middle of this hand grenade.
I see a Batman hat. Don't you have a football hat you can wear, you dick? Can't you see the theme?
No football hats. I don't like sports.
You know this, Andy.
He likes women's mud wrestling.
Well, that is the sport of sports.
But they don't wear hats.
What about women's volleyball? Beach volleyball.
Oh, it's boring.
Beach volleyball with the low camera angles.
It doesn't matter.
And that's still more exciting than this movie.
They all those most of those women, they might be tall, lean, have great butts, but they have no chests. So
that's true. That is true.
So I can't watch it.
So Rob, now they've got to hear Andy and I bicker on our differing points. Tell us your thoughts.
I am in the school with Dennis because I personally I am biased. I hate all musicals. Grease, all that shit. I hate them. Even as a kid, I was like, oh, what is this? Why are they singing? Why are they dancing? I thought I was watching a movie. I really did try to give this movie, I really gave it the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, because they started advertising it, like I even posted in comments, they started advertising it as a musical. And I'm like, oh no. Then they switched to comedy. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe there's not as many musical scenes as I think. Maybe it's just, kind of, how a Disney movie will have some singing, but it's mostly a movie, the Disney cartoon stuff.
Right.
So that's what I started thinking. So I sat down to watch it and I'm like, oh, what I'll do is, because I was watching it by myself, because I love Christmas movies. I really like Will Ferrell and I really like Ryan Reynolds. I had to fast forward and I would just fast forward through the musical scenes. But I quickly realized maybe 35 minutes in that it was almost all musical and there wasn't just a movie there. And I'm like, oh, so someone didn't have a movie. So literally I felt like they took two things. They're like, hey, we got Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. They signed on board. And we also have this musical that we never made about. It was just awful. I can't believe it. they had both those great actors in a musical. You could have just shoved anybody in there.
I will say, I agree with there was a little more singing than I would like for my taste, but beyond that, I thought the story was good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny.
Couldn't get past all the singing and dancing.
The answer is not really, unless you count Ryan Reynolds as a female booty.
No, it's an all ages movie. There's no booty in it.
No hiney.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, should we throw out the big spoiler behind it or no?
No, don't throw out the spoiler, because some people
will
will want to watch this, and some people, like Andy, might actually like it. So it's got a small core niche little audience of people that need psychiatric help that might enjoy this. So why spoil it for them?
Hold on, now I need to look. Go ahead, Rob.
Anybody with like really, really, really low testosterone or a female might like this.
Yeah. So I called it, it's just like that war movie we watched that I said it's like a Hallmark war movie. Andy loved it because it was like a Hallmark war movie. That's why Andy likes this, because it was very Hallmarky, because it was kind of boring. And honestly, Helen got one of those, we got her this, it's Hallmark bingo, and Andy's wife and my wife played the bingo because they were watching the Hallmark Christmas movies. They literally could have played that in this and probably won because there was that many.
Oh my God, you could do that in any Christmas movie.
Hence why Andy likes it so much.
Dude, you could play Hallmark bingo with Scrooged, I bet.
I bet you couldn't play Hallmark bingo with Die Hard, the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 70%. Not bad.
Well, that's because Rotten Tomatoes higher the rating the more you advertise.
Shut up.
Yes.
Common Sense Media gave it 4 out of 5.
Well, before we talk about them, why don't we give it our ratings?
Uh-oh.
That way we can compare it with everybody else.
I would be glad to, and I'll go first. I give it I'm right there. I give it a 7.
Wait,
Dennis?
7 for musical or 7 for movie?
Movie.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a good Christmas movie. 7 for a Christmas movie.
Okay,
How's that?
I understand that.
What do you give it, Dennis? Or should I guess?
Oh, yeah, why don't you guess? That's actually way more fun.
I'm going to say that you have more fingers on one hand than what you're going to give this movie. 3.
You're in the ballpark. As a movie, I give it a 3.5. As a musical, I give it a 4.
Got it.
Yes, because as a movie, even with those great actors in it, they did not showcase their talents at all. It completely went to waste. I was bored too, and I was like, "Oh my God, what time is it? Is this over yet?" So afterwards, just so you know, my wife and I had to cleanse our palate. We went and watched that on Netflix, the foreign film called Troll, which is the Norwegian version of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Far better movie than this. And again, I'm not picking on the actors. This was just not their cup of tea, nor was it incredibly well executed. But if you're looking for something that you can watch with the entire family without all the swear words and violence, with an occasional person getting hit by a bus, this is fine. This is fine.
What you're so crazy. I might watch Troll. How good is the dubbing? Don't?
No, it's weird. I watched it for 30 minutes and I was just like, I can't take this. It really is. It's almost like you're like shooting shot for shot the beginning of the Godzilla movie, like the whole lead up.
When I say Norwegian Godzilla, I'm dead on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now they've got an interesting backstory. You find out later on.
Whoa!
Bad.
No spoilers.
How is that a spoiler? It's a backstory.
You were
like
about to
any
go
good
into
movie
it.
should have. No, I'm not saying this is a great movie. If
No.
you guys like big, kaiju type of things and like Godzilla's with some interesting story, it's worth a watch. It was definitely better than Spirited.
Now, Dennis, if I put Spirited in front of you and Green Lantern, you have to watch one.
Spirited.
You bastard! You will never give me Green Lantern, you son of a
Now,
bitch.
If you ever say, would you watch Spirited or any other movie and the first half of Green Lantern, I would be down there and rewatch the first half. The second half is so bad, I will never watch that movie again. There's only one movie that I would watch Green Lantern over. We talked about it just a month ago.
Okay.
Nope. Yep,
Haters
I
gonna
would still
hate.
watch Spirited. At least I would be able to take a nap.
Haters gonna hate. I get it. I get it.
After watching a bunch of the beginnings of a bunch of movies on Netflix, I kind of think that they now make movies, or Netflix buys movies expecting people to be reading a magazine or playing on the internet while the movie's playing, because they're either retreads or just straight up. There's a setup, and the setup's kind of interesting, but once you get into the movie, you realize there's no movie, or it's the same movie you've seen before, or it's a bunch of foreign movies that are they're just kind of weird. Like the people really are different in other countries, and even the storytelling is, you're just like, what
Right.
why are you setting this movie up this way, or these characters are acting so odd to me. I think about a lot of it is just the dialogue when they're trying to translate it. They're not,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I do. I agree with that, Rob. Matter of fact, one of the movies when I was at our local comic shop this week, we got talking about movies. And one show, it's a Netflix show that they said, or was it a movie? Maybe it was a movie. It's called Kingdom. And it's basically
show.
the zombie apocalypse if it took place in the Middle Ages, and it's Korean. And they said it's absolutely fantastic and a must see. Well, I am a big fan of Train to Busan, Peninsula, so I will give a foreign, film / show, kind of like Squid Games. That was really enjoyable. I'm willing to give it a shot if they can translate it and do a good job with it. They're kind of hit or miss.
I watched Warriors of Future? Warriors.
Yes.
Oh yeah, how was it?
About that. I really liked the guys had this, because it's the future. They had this cool armor, and they had like a little CGI effect. It was like more believable Iron Man armor for the soldiers. That was cool. There was robots in it that were really cool. The CGI was great. The story was kind of. It seems like every time I watch something that has any anime influence or foreign movie, it's always about nature. It's always like, it's just like, dude, why are you doing this? Why? You have this setup. You have all this great special effects. I mean, they spent money on this movie. You can tell with all the effects.
Right. Yeah.
But there's not enough fighting. There's just this weird, it's always man against nature. Like it's almost like it's forced. Like, oh, it has to be, this is the plot. You can make whatever movie you want, but this is the core concept, man against nature. Every time I try to watch an anime, it's the same way. And I'm just like, oh, give me a break. Let's just do man against man. That's more interesting.
I got to admit, I watched the trailer to it, and
Yeah.
it just didn't grab me enough to want to watch it.
I love Transformers. So, I saw the big robots. I saw explosions. I saw action stuff. But I watched it in like 3 different segments. Like I sat down late at night and watched a part of it, then did that again. Maybe I watched some of it during my lunch. But it's not one of those movies you want to just sit down and just watch unless you're a really big fan of that. I watched a Korean Western years ago. That was actually awesome. It was super fast paced. It was a little goofy. I think it's on Netflix right now, but I never remember the title. I saw it on like a bootleg download version, probably in 2008. But that one was great. but that was more straightforward. Here's the good guys, here's the bad guys. They're not doing that huge nature plot.
Korea's got some good ones. Then another one we were talking about, it was Silent Sea. That's one where it's a slow burn, where it's an outer space one, but it was good. I watched it, and it was well done. If you're looking for all action back, that is not what this is. And a lot of times it's for budgetary reasons. The Koreans are more interested in story and stuff like that. And it was good. It was solid. It's probably not something I'll watch again, but I'm glad I at least watched it the one time. And then if you're into anime, the one that they were telling me to watch is Bubblegum Crisis. Don't know anything about it.
Anytime someone talks about, oh, this is a classic anime, I stay away because I know that the setting is going to be, maybe it was a big deal in the 70s or 80s.
That's because the two classic animes are Robotech, Star Blazers / Battleship Yamato, and Akira.
And I already don't like older stuff most of the time. And then when you take it and it's foreign, I'm just like, it's going to be
then
so
you've lost
weird.
him.
Yeah,
Rob, did you watch Blonde on Netflix?
I did, and it annoyed me that it wasn't present day.
Present day?
Well, isn't Blonde? Isn't that the Charlize Theron?
No, it's Marilyn Monroe.
No, it's Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, I was thinking Atomic Blonde. Oh, okay.
No.
Of course not. Why would I watch a movie about Marilyn Monroe? Was she secretly a spy?
It's a biopic. It's crap.
It's awful.
Like
Yuck.
Too. It's another chick.
No, don't even give me that crap. You sucked me into watching it. Dennis and his wife were like, oh, you got to watch it. It's almost 3 hours long, so I watched it. And afterwards, I called him up, and I'm like, this movie was horrific. What are you talking about? And he basically, they punked me.
I did. Well, Andy's the one that said, dude, we need to watch this movie. And so we can do a review on it. And I'm like, okay. Andy really wants to watch the movie. So I said, we'll watch it. It was so bad. It's the one I'll watch Green Lantern over this movie. I hated it. The problem is if Andy calls up and he's like, dude, what'd you think of it? If I say, oh my God, it's awful, Andy will be like, well, I'm out. I'm not spending my time watching that. Screw you. You're the one who told me to watch this to review it. So I said, oh yeah, it's different. You need to watch it. Well, was it good? Oh, yeah, you need to watch it. It's got some interesting parts. And then he was still like, really? And then I'm like, dude, it's got boobs. The moment I said that, Andy's like, oh, okay, I'm in.
It does have boobs. I get hypnotized by those jugglies so easy.
My wife and I were like, my God, this is hours of our life we can't get back. It was so bad. Andy's going to watch this damn thing because he's got to lose that part of his life too.
I get the feeling that the more you hear about a movie while it's being made, the worse it is. Because wasn't Blonde, like they were talking about the actress, and she did interviews talking about having to play Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
It was such a big deal and blah, blah, blah. Anytime they do like that early guerrilla marketing about a movie as it's being made, you're like, oh, this thing's either it's a giant blockbuster or it's a giant piece of crap.
Well, speaking of that, how do you think Avatar 2 is going to do?
Oh, we are looking forward to watching it.
Are you really?
Yeah, we watched the first one. We thought the first one was great.
I fell asleep in the first one.
What?
It was so boring. It was boring.
Dude, anytime you have good guys versus the government, good guys against the military, like whenever you use that as they love to use that as a formula, like, look at these son of a bitches, these evil corporations. Dude, I'm totally in because that's exactly what our corporations are. They're evil. So when you do sci-fi with evil corporations, we're looking forward to it because we know it's gonna. Here's the thing about movies: a big blockbuster movie like that with James Cameron, that the story's not going to be like, it's not one of those low budget cop movies where they talk about, oh, the story was incredible. Yeah, it was a low budget cop movie, so what? That there's going to be a lot of cool CGI. There's going to be a lot of explosions. You're going to be a lot of action. With at least James Cameron will weave a story into that. It won't be just ridiculous action for no reason. There'll be reason and purpose.
You knew it was going to be based on nature and environment, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was nothing but an environmentalist one, but it was also the greatest spectacle of its time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my kids still remember it because we went to it in 3D opening night on the IMAX, and the kids were sitting there, and I'm watching them do this as that little flaky stuff was coming down.
Yeah.
My kids were trying to reach it. It engrossed them because the visuals were so stunning and amazing. Now, with that being said, I kind of figured this movie was going to be nothing but a visual sensation and week-on story, which it was. And it also had a big you need to save the environment kind of thing, and people are bad to the environment. And it was all there as expected,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still a beautiful thing. I'm not nearly as excited about 2 and 3 that they're working on now because the spectacle part of it's not going to be there. So can they offset that with better story? That's going to be the question. I'll probably see 2 just to see if that answers that question. And if they do, I'm in for 3. If they don't, then I'm out.
Have you seen all the stupidity James Cameron's been spewing lately, Rob?
Yeah, I saw you guys talking about that. On
Yeah.
Comics King and stuff.
Low testosterone's evil. It must be expunged from our bodies. Whoa.
You know what? I get
Lord.
the feeling that when people become, they get it, they reach a certain amount of success, and they make a certain amount of money. They just turn into little bitches. You know, I mean, you can see it. You can see. I'm a huge fan of Alex Ross, but I feel like if he didn't have the success he had, he would still be working on cool projects instead of just being cover guy. You know, but you know, I mean, if I made millions of dollars in comics, I probably would be like, I would just go back to being a fan of comics and just go into the comic book store. I wouldn't keep working. I'd be like, look at all this money. I have retirement. You know,
Exactly.
You know, comic books are a fantastic medium, and it's great. The industry can be a little brutal, so if you make your money, you're like, hey man, I love comic books too much. I don't want to keep slogging it out and get a little shitty, you know, a little more each year about it. So guys like Alex Ross, I think James Cameron, I mean, dude, the movie industry, I mean, what is that, like 1,000 times worse sleaze than comic can be?
Oh yeah,
so
it is.
So I think you get all that success and you hit all that, you know, bile at the same time. So
Yeah.
Well, it's like, oh my God, what was
want
the
to
movie?
ask Ed, is it good though? It's a cool concept, but is it good? That's what I need to know. Do you guys think that Bubblegum Crisis is worth watching?
Oh, he said they're in a rock band and then they're superheroes or whatever. You just know that there's way too much dumb rock band music, you know, BS stuff there. You're just like, dude, let's get to whatever the Bubblegum Crisis is.
Well, we are excited because Andy's already seen it. Violent Night. We're hoping if my wife can get done early enough tonight, we're going to go see that because that's one we really want to see, and all of us. And then we want to review that. So maybe if we can, maybe Friday or something like that, we can review it.
Yeah, Violent Night. Yeah. Violent Night's good. Huh?
It is good. It is. Well, we're talking Andy saying it's good.
No, it's good. Well, I guarantee if Dennis sees it tonight, I guarantee he'll enjoy it because I know the type of stuff he liked. Rob, I think you'd enjoy it.
It's not gory, is it? Don't like gore.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Usually the low budget movies go gore because they can't do.
It gives me.
I don't think it's low budget.
Like Fat Man. You know,
yeah, it's. Did you see that one, Rob?
One which was good.
You didn't see Fat Man with Mel Gibson as Santa Claus?
No.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
that was fun.
Dude, you got to watch Fat Man. That is awesome.
Well, I like Mel Gibson. You know, it's unfortunate he might be a little crazy drunk and racist, but
have you not even seen the trailer for it?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh my God!
All right, hold on. I'm going to find it.
Okay, because it seems like the streaming channels, they all have all of Mel Gibson's low-budget movies he's done in the last 10 years. Like, they all show them all at the same time. Like, there'll be a month of Mel Gibson.
Yeah, but they won't show any of his good stuff. I mean,
this came out.
Their shit.
This came out in 2020.
Okay.
I can't remember what streaming service was on. It was on. Do you remember, Dennis?
When it came out, nah, it might have been Netflix. It was something we both had access to.
Maybe it's Prime.
Yeah.
So it could
Maybe
be
it was-
Prime or
yeah.
Netflix.
Prime
It
is.
might have been Prime.
What do you guys think of Prime's new format? It makes it like a lot more difficult to actually search their movies.
Yes, it's
Why?
Because they literally like they focus in on like the big photos, and instead of seeing like being able to like just look at your screen and see like 20 different things,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, here's 4, and you
Right.
got to surf through like 4 at a time.
Right.
I think it's just them trying to focus on the movies that are actually. Okay, here we go.
All right, let's watch Fat Man, the trailer. I think you'd like it.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've lost my influence. Maybe it's time I retired the coat.
You still have it.
Some kids with a deer rifle put 2 holes in the sleigh, one in me. All I have is a loathing for a world that's forgotten.
The United States military would like to procure your services.
This is a one-time deal, gentlemen. How are you, Mike? Nicole and the kids are well, I hope.
Who are you?
You just lost a big son!
What's the job?
I'd like you to kill Santa Claus.
I'm looking for the Fat Man.
You can't be serious.
This is what people actually think of me. Christmas is a farce. I'm a joke.
What's the purpose of your visit?
Hunting. I'm gonna kill some things.
There is a rising number of our youth making poor decisions.
I want the big man's head.
Severed heads rot, they mold.
They don't want his beard.
I'm not shaving off a dead man's beard.
Your workers sure have healthy appetites.
That's why elves live much longer than humans.
And Chris, he does the same?
No, it's a giving that keeps him young.
I've come for your head, Fat Man!
Dashing through the snow. No one horse open
You think you're the first?
all the fields will
Think I got this job because I'm fat and jolly?
nothing all the way. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh.
How come while you sleep? The fat man's got his eye on you, kid.
Hey, whoa!
Oh, that's Donner. Lucky it wasn't Blitzer. Should tear your package clean off.
It is enjoyable.
Okay,
Dennis and I
okay,
can both agree on that.
I'm gonna have to look for it. It looks like it might be fun. I cringe a little bit with when you see that Saban films, because they make a couple of, you'll watch a couple of their movies, maybe out of 10, 2 of them are good, and then the 8 of them are like low budget, like mindless. Like you're just like, that's not even this. That's just ridiculous. They make a lot of those movies that Bruce Willis films in a day. He gets $1 million to film for one day, and then they just tack in his scenes all throughout the movie. And I think Robert De Niro does that, and I'm pretty sure Antonio Banderas does that now too, where they get paid a lot of money to shoot for just a couple of days. So you get a lot of talking by the other characters going, hey, I thought Antonio Banderas was in this movie. Where is he? Or they'll kill him.
Right.
So,
I hear you.
yeah. I'm
Well,
hoping,
I think you'll like it. The basic gist is, if you couldn't tell, this rich little brat gets a lump of coal, so he puts a hit out on Fat Man, on Santa Claus. I love Walton Goggins as an actor, so I mean, I was in, besides Mel Gibson, Walton Goggins is awesome. And he goes to hunt him down, but the subplot too is the U.S. military needs some weapons made, so they come to Santa Claus to do it because they know his elves can pound that shit out fast.
Oh, I was wondering what was
and that's right, and that's where Santa Claus
they help fund Santa's operation. So Santa needs the government teat in order to survive.
Right.
Well, that's everything now.
He gets a paycheck. Yeah,
it makes sense.
So when he's not making toys, yeah. But I'll show you guys a trailer to one of my favorite Christmas movies. Dennis, you shut your mouth and don't ruin it.
Oh no.
As long as it's not
Sometimes the smallest of miracles can change our lives. And for one man,
we didn't think you were coming.
And a boy,
I used to have this pair of dancing shoes. Every time I put them on, I just felt so special.
a special pair of shoes will lead their paths to cross.
You would have really liked the show. I wished you were there.
Next time. You're $5.50 short. Come back after New Year's, we'll probably be giving them away.
Too late, David.
This Christmas, two families will test their faith in themselves.
Thanks, mister.
And discover the magic that is the Christmas shoes.
Could you Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and know these shoes will make her smile, and I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight.
Golden Globe nominee Rob Lowe.
Do you know how much I love you?
And Kimberly Williams Paisley of According to Jim.
It's magic.
He didn't know he needed a miracle until one happened.
So what are you going to do with all that real whole lot of money?
Buy my mom some Christmas shoes.
Inspired by the hit song and best-selling book, The Christmas Shoes.
The Christmas.
Now available on DVD, only from GT Media.
I own it on DVD.
I knew this was a setup.
I own it on DVD.
That's
there
horrific.
you go, Andy.
What's
you can,
that?
when you're done blowing your nose from all your crying, you can deposit your man card on the inside.
Oh, well, you know what?
Did you-
That screams. This is how. This was Rob Lowe at his lowest point in his career. So what was this, like 2001, 2002, where nobody would give him a job except for Hallmark TV.
Yes.
Did you not see me doing this while it
Oh
was
no, we
going?
saw you.
That movie's cringy. You know what's funny is probably the director probably moved on to do something cool, but he had to do the shit first. Like,
You guys literally have no souls. That's what it
those
is.
looked awful.
I've realized that. No
I have a soul.
souls.
No, I don't have a soul.
Well, I knew Rob didn't have a soul from when I first met him.
I'm a terrible
This
person.
is one of Andy's favorites. His spirited recommendation has me worried.
Exactly. If he says that's a great movie. Yeah. You can
It
just skip
is.
Spirited.
Oh no.
Here's the problem. You're going to tell everybody that you kind of like it. That's going to pump up the ratio like by 50% because most people pass because most people are like, musical, screw that. And the women aren't watching this anyways. So they were going to either watch musical or not. So you're going to bump up the ratio for Apple TV Spirited, and they're going to make another one just because of Andy.
Oh my God! I would love to see a sequel. The way
sequel?
the way Spirited ended, I'd love to see a sequel to it.
You know what I'm looking forward to is someone from YouTube who's a professional editor is going to get a hold of it and chop out all the musicals and just show us what's left of the movie, and then I'll watch that. I'll watch Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, their interaction, and hopefully that'll be like a nice maybe 22-minute show. I mean, that's Yellowstone. I tried to watch the new season of Yellowstone, the first couple episodes, and that was only because I watched the YouTube, like the Yellowstone trailer that showed all of season 3, like in a summary. And that was amazing. That was like a Paramount produced, edited. Hey, this is what you missed in season 3. That was incredible. And I'm like, oh, I've got to check out season 4. And I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, so someone decided they want to do a Yellowstone, the politics, and I'm just like, oh, this is painful. This is slowed down to nothing. So
don't make a sequel to Spirited all because of Andy. That does.
Yeah.
And I saw this. I saw this. And let me tell you, all I'm doing to the script is punching up some dialogue here and there.
Don't let Andy.
So I was going to say, we were talking Rob Lowe. I mean,
Kor-Drath
Rob Lowe was at his pinnacle during Tommy Boy.
Yeah, that was they really threw him a bone on Tommy Boy because his career was like a dumpster fire.
But it was such a good role for him in it. And then I was not that big of a West Wing fan coming into it, but he was on Parks and Rec, and I loved his character, his wacky out there, Andy type character, which is kind of funny.
Did you see his short-lived comedy where he was an actor who needed to get back to his roots and he moved back in with his family? He his career was on the downhill.
Yes.
He got a divorce. That was really goofy and really funny. I didn't think it was.
God, I'm trying to remember who played his ex-wife now. I know what you're talking about. I watched it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's like when his TV career kicked back up, he decided he was going to build a house right across the street. Oh, yes. And it had Fred Savage in it.
Yeah, Fred Savage. Yeah. That was his son, wasn't it? Or
no, it was his brother.
It was his brother. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great because he's still Mr. Good Looking, and he's waking up every morning and having breakfast, and everybody's treating him great. And his brother's like, "Hey, man, this is the same asshole we haven't heard from for years."
Right.
Yeah, it was great. It was well, obviously it was a little too weird for America.
I thought it was pretty good.
Either that or the hospital shows offered him a lot more money to show up and be Mr. Good Looking. So I'm not sure what happened.
Oh no, he's in 911 Austin or Texas 911, whatever.
Yeah, and he was in something else before that. He played like a military surgeon who is now back. Maybe it was one of Chicago or all those hospital dramas all look the same. But I just remember flipping through the channels and going, "Man, how old is he? Because he's still jacked." I mean, he's like
58. I think.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that dude is in shape.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Well, he eats really. I don't think he's a vegetarian, thank God, but he eats really clean.
Oh.
Wow, man, what was I gonna say? Oh man, talk about the Wednesday night on NBC. It's the 3 Chicago shows: Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and I'm just like, Wednesday night is a write-off. I don't even have to deal with NBC because I just don't give a shit. About any of those shows.
Yeah. It's the same producer, and they talk about. I listened to a podcast where the writers talked about they literally signed up for that with that guy because they knew, we can write our ticket for the next 20 years into retirement if we sign on with this guy, and we just.
Well, I mean, look at
successful.
Look at Thursday night. Thursday night is Law and Order, the original they brought back, and then SVU, and then. Law and Order, Let's Stop the Pedos, or whatever the one is after that. I have no idea.
Let's Stop the Pedos. All of those, they're like the same show over and over again.
Oh, yeah. I know.
I know people that watch the entire gamut of them, and I just can't.
Do they actually watch it, or do they listen while they play on their phone? Because that's what my wife does. I'll ask her, I go, "Oh, we've already seen this episode," and I'm playing on my iPad, hanging out with her while she's playing on her iPhone. She goes, "I don't remember this episode," and I'm like, "That's because you were playing on your phone the whole time." I literally think a lot of TV programming now is, we can have slow paced, or we can do the same sloppy storytelling, or the same story over and over again because people aren't actually watching; they're playing on their phones. You see that, especially all the Criminal Minds and CSI Vegas crap. It's all the same.
When I watch a movie on anything, HBO, Netflix, Prime, whatever. If it's a movie, I'll put my phone down. I won't read. I'll just focus on the movie. If it's a TV show, I'll, depending on how long I've watched it, like Walking Dead, I watched it up until the end, you know, which it's still not because they're doing new shows next year. But point is,
over. Just that series was over.
Walking Dead's over, but now Fear the Walking Dead is still there. They're doing a show.
3 that are coming.
They're doing a show with just Daryl Dixon has his own show. Andrew Lincoln and Michonne have their own show. Rick and Michonne, and then they're doing a show with Negan and the chick whose husband's head he's bashed in. I can't remember her name. Where it takes place in New York City.
Yeah. Plus, there's Fear the Walking Dead, and then they've got a spin-off of Fear the Walking Dead.
I did watch a couple seasons of Fear the Walking Dead when I had given up on Walking Dead. In our household, we like smart characters, so we liked the Brad Pitt zombie movie because he was really smart in that.
World War Z.
Right. World War Z. But we don't like dumb characters, and too many shows are written like the plot is so weak that the characters have to be idiots. So I quickly lost interest in Walking Dead because of that fact. Everyone does the dumbest things.
For me,
well, and they break their own rules.
I need to know how it started. I want the origin, how it actually started, and they don't want to give that to you. And then I want to find a resolution, you know, to it. So there really has to be a starting point and an ending point, but they don't want to. They just want to do everything in the middle. And, you know, I watched Walking Dead up until 2 years ago, and I just kind of fell off, and I don't think I'm going to pick up the new shows just because without that points of reference at the beginning and the end, I'm just going to be bored with it.
Well, I mean, the thing that killed me the most about it, because, you know, I stuck with it. Now, I don't know if I'll watch any of the new stuff because, to me, they did wrap up, you know, the main show. But what I hate is the laziness of breaking your own rules that they set up. And they're taking advantage of the fact, oh, it's been 11 seasons. It's like 13 years now. Nobody's going to remember that you can only walk among them if you're literally slathered in guts. Now it's just like, give me some guts. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, they just put it on their cheeks and they just walk right through them. And I'm like, oh, come on. And other dumb things that they just, you know, they just gave up on.
I know that if we had a conversation with those writers and producers, they would always say the same thing. They're like, well, people do dumb things when, you know, the adrenaline is pumping and it's hyper intense situations. And you're like, yeah, that's true. Except Walking Dead, that hyper intense situations of now it's the daily life, and we never see. They still will make the same ridiculous, you know, choices. You know, if you have 3 options and 2 are horrible and 1 is sensible, they never pick sensible, and it's the easiest and it's the laziest writing. Dude, you know what? Write yourself into a corner, because then you can come up with a clever way for your characters to get out of situations. It's you know, I'm doing that all the time on Death Raider. I'm like, oh no, what am I
But
do
today's
here?
writers can't do that.
No. Well, did you hear Chuck Dixon talk about when he hadn't figured out what producers actually want? Producers, because you're supposed to write Expendables 2. Producers want they want you to write their idea. And if you can do that, then, you know, you're hired. But if you say, well, that's an interesting idea, but here's what I thought we'd do, then the producers are like, yeah, you don't have the job. So I'm guessing it's producers just saying, hey, how about we do this in this episode? And the writers go, okay, boss. They all go, yeah, I like my gig. I like this high pay for little work. Like, they literally just have to write the in-betweens. The producers probably, or the showrunner throws, you know, we want this to happen in A, and we want it to end this way, and they're like, okay, we'll fill in the rest, which explains all the nonsense, because they're not actually coming up with the beginning or the end. They just, you know, they're literally just writing the in between stuff.
Right.
You know, so to them it's just another job. To us, we're just like, why are these characters being idiotic? Why are they being ridiculous?
Well, and at least it helps, and a lot of them won't do it anymore. Marvel, they just admitted it in the Marvel circle. They don't want their writers knowing or being fans of the original source material. They just want them to write what they're being told they need to write. The problem with that is, if you're not a fan of the original source material, then you don't understand where the characters come from. It's not going to be good. It just isn't going to be good, and it's being proven on a regular basis. Rings of Power. They actually took all the incredible lore and just shit all over it because they could, because they didn't care what the background was.
Well, the estate, Token Estate, actually told them they didn't want the new stuff to resemble Lord of the Rings at all, because they are so pissy about it. They feel like they got ripped off in the deals. So they're so pissy about the Lord of the Rings trilogy that they would, they're cutting off their own nose to spite their face. Is that the expression? I get the expression wrong all the time.
Yeah, it's cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah. I think it probably has more to do with merchandising. I mean, we all know that movies can make $1 billion.
I mean, you heard how much they got just for the rights for them to use it, and it's not even off the books. It's a Silmarillion, and which are basically just footnotes. So right. I'm just like, but you still have a basic background to base everything off of, and we're just going to take liberties with everything and then just go totally woke. Well, I tried, and it was so bad. I don't care what they do in season 2. I'm out. I choked down season 1, and just to see this train wreck, if it was going to run off the tracks into the wall and explode, and then fall off the cliff, and everybody drown, and they did.
So what I'm hearing is, Dennis, you'd rather watch Spirited than rewatch 2 episodes of
Yes.
Rings of Power. That's what I'm hearing.
Do we get to pick which 2 episodes? Because I didn't mind Rings of Power. I actually liked some of the episodes. But, dude, there was a lot of, we don't need these giant shots of, look how beautiful the elves' forest is. Like, there was a lot of CGI shots that weren't really needed.
Right.
They're just to fill in a story.
That's the highlight of the show. The writing was horrendous. The acting was terrible. Well, I don't even want to say the acting was terrible. Don Lemonless was not good. The girl that played Gladriel, I liked her. She's very nice looking. She played her part, but she played it the way it was written. This arrogant, self-righteous, I'm better than everybody else. Will tell you that I'm better, and you must listen to me. Goes up to the Queen Regent and dictates to her, one person in somebody else's land. No, none of this made sense. And, it's just like the big castle scene where they lured him in again. You were just talking about smart characters, and I was like, yeah, this made no sense. It was just one bad decision after another. We're going to release water, which is going to get down in there and cause a volcano to explode. Oh, Mordor! Wow, that's great.
So what are we talking about with this question, Dennis?
Dennis, Rings of Power or Christmas Shoes?
Uh-oh.
Oh dear God. Mind-numbing stupidity versus giving up your man card. Boy, that is a horse apiece, I'll tell you. I know Andy does that every day, but for me, that's a bit of a stretch. I have never seen Christmas Shoes, so I actually don't know if it's any good. Andy did say I probably should need to watch it, so I've got a sister-in-law with her family who listens to the song and cries. So maybe I'll talk them into watching it, and then I'll let you know.
I love this comment. I don't mind a few episodes of Rings of Power, says Rob. Now Andy's Spirited recommendation sounds better.
Well, here's the deal. I already heard Rings of Power was awful when we started watching
Knife to the eyes, right?
So I'm just like, okay, it can't be that bad. And then it was almost a chore to get through the first, was it 2 episodes that were really, really slow? before they
well, if you took the first 3, you could have combined them into one episode.
Oh wow! So like WandaVision, WandaVision, which was painful. Yeah, well, here you go. There's you. They made a movie or they made a TV show expecting people to be playing on their phone. So they when you look at Rings of Power, like what was supposed to happen? Like what 4 major story points that could have been addressed in 2 episodes?
Right. Okay. And then
that was
everything is plot armor in that show. So she's searching for Sauron across the 4 corners of Middle Earth. Can't find him. Her own people have given up on him. She dives off after going east. She dives off the boat in order to swim hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of miles, which is also ridiculously stupid, and just happens to come across a few other people that had been shipwrecked and were afloat out in the middle of nowhere. Oh my God, and that's one of them happens to be Sauron. Are you kidding me? That is the stupidest thing ever.
Well, that is pretty much every comic book and movie. They have those plots you either accept and move on, or you're going to just be like, oh, I'm done watching this. But elves are super powered, right? Isn't she like 1,000 years old? That's why they have that arrogance. I mean, can you imagine?
She's
10,000 years old,
but that's supposed to imply wisdom, Rob. There's supposed to be wisdom with that age. She makes one stupid decision after another. Well, she's young. She's only 2,000 years old. And that's exactly 1,985 years older than the other person. I mean, give me a break.
Well, she's only 2,000 years old?
I think in there she was roughly 2,000 years old.
Oh, so she's kind of a young elf? Well, I know.
At that point, yeah, she was young. When we see the Kate Blanchett's version in the trilogy, she's she's older, she's wiser, she's got the grace and beauty because she's the wisest of the elves. Well, obviously she hadn't gotten puberty yet at 2,000 years old because every decision she made was wrong throughout the entire show. Literally, you can't point to one that really was a good decision just because something worked out. And yes, I might almost rather watch, that's a tough one. I don't know. I almost will watch Christmas Shoes because Andy's telling me to. So we can maybe talk about that. I don't even know what it's playing on. Maybe I can find it. If not, I'll borrow it tomorrow when I come over to Andy's house to do the show.
There you go. Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say I would watch Rings of Power before I watched Green Lantern, but I'd watch either one or both before I watched Spirited or
This is why
Christmas
I love our
Shoes.
fans because they are very specific and knowledgeable.
Yeah. So how do you what's this?
No, go ahead, Rob.
I was going
to
to say
We got echo.
Yeah, echoes.
Shut up. All right, let me play this. Well, hold on. All right, go ahead.
I was going to just say that how do you catch yourself when you talk to like a 12-year-old? You know, that's how I just thought the elves when they talk to the other characters. You know, they're talking to them and they don't want to talk to them like they're little kids, but from their perspective, they're talking to a bunch of little kids.
Right. But it's just like Kellen Brimbor, one of the greatest, not only elf, but one of the greatest smiths in the entire realm, who knows everything, gets talked to by Sauron and said, oh, you know, if you just take 2 metals and combine them, it'll be stronger. Yeah. Really? As he walks into the secret smelting area, which he shouldn't be in, again, seriously, shit writing all the way across. Go home, you're done.
Yeah, and which he needed the elves to do something that he had been working on for. They didn't even explain how long she had been looking for Sauron and finding out he'd been working on, you know, the rings problem. He could have been working on the rings problem for 600 years. He gets together with the elves and they figure it out in 30 minutes.
You might be right on that one.
Yeah.
And I did look up. He was born in 1964.
So he's 58. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So this is there's a trailer that dropped for a new Eddie Murphy movie on Netflix
What?
It's Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. It's a comedy called You People. So let's watch this trailer. First time for all of us seeing it, and hopefully you guys in the audience as well.
It is so nice to meet you guys. What's going on? Tell me about life. How are you? How's work?
So you want to marry my daughter?
Yes, I do.
So do you hang out in the hood all the time, or do you just come up here for our food and women?
It's a valid question.
It is.
What's the difference between me and you?
If Amir and I had a baby, it would be a very nice baby. Mixed race people are really awesome. You know, you have like Mariah and Derek Jeter, and then of course you have the GOAT.
The GOAT?
The greatest of all time.
Yeah, I know what it means, but who are you referring to?
Our guy, the legend, Malcolm X.
What in the mother?
What's the difference between me and you?
And she's not pregnant because we don't even do that much stuff. She's not a prude. She knows her way around it, and that's that, and I respect. And then what I'm saying is, I love your daughter, and I would make a good husband.
Ain't this about a bitch?
Where's our waiter? I am starving.
What's the difference between me and you? You talk a good one, but you don't do what you're supposed to do.
I'll give that a watch.
Jonah Hill wants to be Bradley Cooper. Is that what I'm trying to figure out in this?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a bad look at Bradley Cooper. Did he have cancer?
You know, the problem is whenever I hear Jonah Hill's voice, like if you close your eyes, I just think of, you know, the movie This Is the End. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Right.
It's
yeah.
So dumb.
That's like all I can ever picture him in now.
I every time I see him in a movie, I always wonder, is he going to be thin or is he going to be fat this time?
I don't think he's ever going back to fat.
We'll see.
He's actually, I think I read, he's changing his name legally to Jonah Hill because his last name is
Jonah Fat.
No.
Mountain.
I'm going to find out now because you guys are being goofy.
I liked him in War Dogs.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind. Look, I don't mind Jonah Hill.
No, I don't. I just couldn't couldn't help but the Bradley Cooper. He is even wearing the Bradley Cooper big white sweater.
I'm down with that.
Whatever the hell is. So.
Eddie Murphy needs to do another 48 Hours with old white wild-haired Nick Nolte.
Hell yeah, he does.
I would too.
Sidney Poitier's rolling in his grave. Look who's come to dinner, indeed. So Jonah Hill's real name is Jonah Hill Feldstein. So he goes by Jonah Hill, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's getting rid of his last name, the Feldstein, and it's like, dude, why? You're just crapping on your parents and stuff. You know, it's like you go by Jonah Hill. What do you care?
Yeah.
You know?
He's getting rid of his Jewish heritage for some reason.
Yeah. His agent probably told him, let's just cut that. We don't know where things are going. You know, people get more pissy about Israel if they attack Iran, blah, 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 because gas prices go up. So.
You know, it's funny. Aaron Paul actually changed his name. I didn't know that wasn't his real name. It was Aaron Paul Sturtevant.
Well, that's why he changed it.
Yeah, but he always just went by Aaron Paul, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when you're sitting in your big house and you're counting your money, who cares if what your last name is and everybody knows you as the short and the easier pen name to pronounce?
Right.
What's the difference? Maybe Jonah Hill just got tired of when he had to sign his checks. He's like, man, Jonah Hill would be a lot.
Yeah, because people still sign checks, Rob.
I still have to for my utilities because they're so archaic. I love those online companies that like, you can pay digitally, but we're going to charge you $4 every time because you need to pay for our online infrastructure. What? Right. You mean a website? I got to pay for your website again and again? Thanks, guys.
So Joe puts out a thing, and I'm curious. Hello, DNA, Aloha DNA, and Rob. Lords of the Ring power sucks so bad with amateur writing. It looks like they are trying to, I think, buy high fantasy again with Willow. Rob, have you seen Willow?
No, but I like the original, so
I did.
Yeah.
Now I've talked to like 8 people, and they actually, even the people who loved it and stuff, hate the new Willow. Actually, everybody's talked me out of it. It is so bad. They're like, it is the worst writing ever. I mean,
That's what I
right
heard.
there with Green Lantern. I mean, it's
Now,
terrible.
shut up.
And then New Witcher.
Oh my God.
Witcher season 1 was good, really good. And then season 2 went woke. I was disappointed. Wheel of Time, again, a good. Those books were solid, but they didn't do a good job with it.
KSS says Mr. and Miss Feldstein asked Jonah Hill to change his name. He was the Christmas shoes of the Feldstein family.
Oh, that makes sense. They were embarrassed by him. The rest of the family is a bunch of professionals, and he's the silly actor. So,
I saw Willow way back. I don't remember much of it, but I have no interest in this new one. So,
well, I just always look at it as if I'm going to chill for an hour before I go to bed, what are the options to watch? And, at least something with fun sci-fi or fantasy, that it will be a lot more interesting to me. At least it was written by American writers for American audience. Then, most of Netflix is just littered with a bunch of foreign stuff that they just, they get translated, and it always comes across really weird. Like the story might be technically better, but because it's made for a foreign audience, it comes across so odd and strange that I can't get past that. Even a poorly written brand that I actually kind of like I actually really like the Willow. I'll at least give that. I'll watch the entire 1 or 2 episodes before I make a decision. Versus those Netflix foreign jobs that are like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, I can't take the poor translating or these odd characters. Everybody's smoking. Everybody's Euro trash, thinking they're the coolest. There's a weird vibe. There's this weird snippy vibe to a lot of foreign stuff that I don't. It kind of goes over my head. Did any of you guys watch that Hacker movie that just came out on Netflix?
Was it called Hacker?
No, it's called like Taken or something like that. It's a female hacker, and obviously her cyber stuff gets her in trouble. But
I was wondering if that was a remake of the original or something.
No. As an actress, she has no personality. Then a character that she's going to spend most of the movie with, he's shorter than her and has no personality. He's too frumpy. There's really cool shots of Rotterdam. I'm like, wow, Rotterdam is a really cool city. That'd be.
God, now I got to look because I don't know the movie you're talking about, but I want to know what it is.
But it starts with she's supposed to be like 15 and she's got acne on her face. Well, then we shoot to she's in her 20s and she's got the same acne on her face. And you're like,
wait, is it the same actress?
It's the same actress. They just changed her hairstyle and give her more makeup. But she has no personality. I know that might be part of the character because she's a loner, but you're just like, this actress cannot carry this movie. I'm guessing it was one of those government funded movies because they show Rotterdam so often. Like, look how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful our police station is.
Yeah, because I was going to say if it was a remake,
No.
Angelina Jolie was the big star in the original.
Yeah, and she was all personality. She was like, whoa.
Oh yeah,
she's supposed to be a 17-year-old. She's like
that.
She's oozing stripper. She's oozing stripper all over the film.
I don't see anything. I don't know. How old is it?
It just came out. It's one of those new movies on Netflix.
And you don't remember the name. Way to be prepared, Rob. Way to tease me like a stripper at a club.
You know what? I'm going to take 2 seconds.
And masturbate? Because I hear that's all it takes.
No. That's 12 seconds. Oh. When I'm really in the zone, that's 12 to 15 seconds max.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like Taken or something. It's on Netflix.
I'm on Netflix right now.
Here's the problem: is I watch manly stuff. So when the shows that Netflix shows me, compared to what you're getting a bunch of musicals and stuff.
Oh, here we go.
It does pull from your history, and
yeah. So
Andy does get a lot of Hallmark and Lifetime and all that crap.
If you look at Andy's Netflix search bar, it's like Grease.
Well, there was that prehistoric one back, the biblical one. I think it was these sandals for Christmas. I think it was the prequel.
Shoes.
These shoes for Christmas.
Shoes. Christmas shoes. I will play the damn song if you keep it up.
Now you're forcing me to move my iPad so I can look it up on Google.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah, because now if it's a movie about hacking, I mean, I kind of like that, but...
yeah, so do I.
Well, that's why, because I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a cool thriller type of movie. This might be cool. And I'm like, I know there's lots of hackers in the Netherlands and stuff, so that might be cool.
Huh.
So wait, is it American actors and stuff, or this is a foreign film that's dubbed?
It's totally foreign. Yeah.
I don't know.
Give me 2 seconds to see if I can log into Netflix.
Wow, this is as close to dead air as we can get.
Yeah,
Dennis, did you ever watch The Vanishing?
I think so. It doesn't stick in my mind, but I swear to God, I saw something vanishing.
You know what? I think you're right. I think we talked about it, so never mind.
Enola Holmes, I have not seen that one. Gray Man. Home
now,
Team.
see, my wife and daughter liked Enola Holmes, the first one, so I might watch the second one, but I don't know if I can binge 2 movies like that. So
I couldn't get through the first one.
I'm not seeing it.
I think Rob's making it up in another fever dream.
I am. I make up stuff constantly, so it's possible.
Rob was the one that told me about the whole shoot the heroin between your toes because nobody looks for tracks there.
Apparently, there's a new Netflix movie about hacking out, and Rob does not remember the name. So we are trying to figure out what movie this was that we actually kind of want to see, which is far better than the shit Andy makes us watch.
Andy is also a terrible person, so he would do it just to spite us.
I would do that.
Oh, this is a really great movie. This is a fantastic movie. And then he just waits.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that. So, Joe, we talked earlier. I haven't watched Troll. Rob only got a half hour through it. Dennis watched the whole thing, and now it's his favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie better than Green Lantern.
All he can do is just talk about freaking Troll. I think he's trolling for Troll. Actually, I don't think he liked it. And he just wants me to watch it because Rob only got a half hour into it. So now I'm thinking Dennis is trying to troll me, no pun intended again, like he did with that freaking blonde.
Did anybody watch 1899?
Nope.
Did you? I got 2 episodes in.
I got, I'd say 30 seconds in after the credits, and it started out really weird, So I'm like, yeah, screw this. I don't.
So Dennis, what you got 2 episodes in and you're out?
It just didn't capture me. Now, again, I was told it's actually really good when you get in there. But, by the second episode, there was some interest. There's some intrigue in it. And there's some cool stuff, but there's also a lot of woke shit that just is over the top. And it detracted me so much from it. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Honestly, unless I'm completely bored, I don't think I would.
Right. Got it. Got it.
It's nice.
We're dying here, so I'm giving up.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop looking
because it's not in there. I bet it wasn't even Netflix. It was probably PureFlix or something. Rob,
I'm telling you, it was. No, it was Rob. It was freaking Pornhub.
Oh.
Yeah,
and the thing that got Rob into it was Wait, 15? Yeah, I'll watch this.
Yeah, it wasn't hackers, it was Huskers.
Hustlers.
Huskers.
It was Hustlers. Are you still looking? Give up, Rob. I gotta get ready to pick my kid up. But before I do that, Kor-Drath the Reckoning, everybody.
It looks so good.
Which is way better than the Green Lantern movie and way better than anything we talked about today.
That I'm not going to deny. You are correct there. Kor-Drath the Reckoning. It's in demand. Go check it out. I'm up to page. I'm going to start page 17. So 16 pages in. We just sent a batch more pages to the colorist, to the letterer. I have to mark up pages to send to the colorist. So it's going. If you don't know what Kor-Drath the Reckoning is, Randy's posted the link. The link is in the description below. It's a badass barbarian book that Dennis and I are doing. There's the cover to the main issue. There's the wraparound variant cover. So there's 5 different covers you can choose from. We've got the Bud Root, lovely Lady Lilith cover colored by Dan Lawless, who also colored mine. We, of course, have a couple t-shirts to choose from. My t-shirt, which is a throwback to the metal days. The Lilith trading card, which I'm still playing with the idea of putting up for sale. This is only for people that signed up early, but I might put it up as a tier. So if you didn't sign up early and you want it, you could buy it. Of course, I did do the Kor-Drath homage cover to Conan #1. 76 pages of ball-busting barbarian action. There's the Bud Root Lilith cover shirt. If you like Conan, if you like Game of Thrones, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, you'll love Kor-Drath. Kor-Drath and Adriana, his girlfriend, basically team up to find out who slaughtered his tribe and why.
Nice.
There will be a reckoning. There will be bloodshed.
Then you can play the game.
What's that, Dennis? Play the game?
I was waiting for you to show because there's... I recognize that artwork.
What a lead-in.
That's right. You can play the game. Dennis has written a 24-page, and that's the minimum page count. It could be more. Game module for Kor-Drath the Reckoning. It's 5th edition SRD compatible. You can play this with characters you created for other games, or you can play it with the Kor-Drath characters. Kor-Drath and Adriana are already unlocked as stretch goals. They're character cards. Everybody will get one. They look like this, except this is the Lilith card. On the front is the beautiful character shot, and on the back are their statistics, so you can play them in the Kor-Drath game or any other 5th edition SRD compatible game. So you'll definitely want to check that out. The campaign's doing great. We still need your help. So spread the word. If you have not backed it, back it now. If you have backed it and you want to buy Dennis and I a beer, there's a tier for that. If you want to buy a t-shirt, there's a tier for that. Get yourself a beanie, Kor-Drath beanie. Keep your head nice and warm. Lots of fun stuff. And like we said, we got the Bart Sears cover for the game module colored by Dan Lawless. So go check it out. Link is in the description. Also, Rob Hunter has Death Raider. Sign-up page is live. What's Death Raider, Rob? Tell them.
Oh, dude, Death Raider is all testosterone. It's all, if you want all-out action with a cool story that's intertwined between the action. It's a cyberpunk 2032. Marine gets wiped out. He gets thumped hard just so he can get around. He needs to build out an armor. There's a great subplot of why can he build out an armor if he's just just a military dude. What's going on? Why is he all of a sudden Tony Stark? Not actually Tony Stark, just my idea of Tony Stark. So and he's got to find out why his team was ambushed. Why are they still after him? At the same time, the military's after him. Everybody's after his ass. So it's a really fun origin story with, a bit of a chase kind of plot wrapped up in there. So, and of course, I have a hot chick. there's a hot chick in there too. It's for everybody, for our lovely ass shots and things of that nature. So.
Oh, and Orbital Hub, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm having the time of my life drawing this stuff. Production will slow down a little bit over the holidays, I must say.
What page? I missed that. I was trying to Google. What page are you on?
I just wrapped up 16 this morning.
Nice.
So I start 17 tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, so it should be fun. And there is the link for Rob, so you can go sign up for that.
Yeah.
And I'll be play testing over the Christmas season. I'm going to be play testing the first shot at the module with a bunch of the play testers, and we're going to see how that goes and see what I need to adjust.
There you go, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Special guest Brian Blevins. We're going to talk 80s cartoons that we love and Christmas cartoons that we enjoy. Maybe I can find an animated version of the Christmas shoes.
Oh, there's no way that they did an animated.
Just turn in your card.
How dare you, Andy?
Just be done.
I can't take either one of you anymore.
Break